while they get set up.
Okay. All right. Looks like we are gonna get, I believe, Phil and Mike Hess, I think, for our next round.
No, you guys are getting Drew and Shaw.
Oh, we're getting Drew and Shaw. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And the other one is Wadden and Daniel.
Oh well, let's give Dan a break from the camera then. So. All right, so if you guys heard all of that, we are getting Greg Shaw and Drew Lichtenstein on for the next round, which should be, I believe they're actually setting up on the table right now here for us.
Before we get into the game, we're going to take like a 2-second break so that way we can have an intermission for splicing the videos.
Sure. All right, well, stay tuned, everybody. All right. Welcome back, folks. For those watching live, that was a brief break. For those on YouTube later, we've got Game 5 of the San Diego Open. Right now we have, I believe, Table 1, if I remember correctly. This is Greg Shaw on the top playing Dark, playing Rops, against Drew Lichtenstein on the bottom playing Saga, Anakin Skywalker Saga. One of the new decks that got boosted a bit by the most recent set. So we've got the, I can't remember which Tatooine site it is now. Slave Quarters V, with Your Thoughts to On Your Mother, and then a Walkling, and then I believe that is a best star pilot in the galaxy. The Saga effect that usually starts.
Certainly what it looks like, and definitely the standard start there.
Yep. And then Greg has, let's see, which one is Insignificant Rebellion? Probably the bottom one. So then there's 2 combo effects, I think.
Which looks like one is the Mob Points combo.
Okay.
That's on top.
The other one has to be a Rest Order, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to be I think it's the Rest Order combo. That would be a...
Rest Order combo would be the most typical starting.
Yeah, effect. That would definitely be the most expected one.
Quickly while they're getting set up here, let me drop this in here as we're debating the merits of what starting effects you do in ROPS. If you want to connect to discuss strategy and mingle with your fellow Star Wars CCG players online, then connect to our active Slack channel. Go to starwarsccg.org and click on the social media links at the top to connect to Slack chat. Slack's really active. We're on there. I'm on there all the time, at least. So
it's definitely a great way to come back into the game and get back to seeing a lot of the, not just the Star Wars discussion, but there's lots of other things to discuss there, and people have a lot of channels, and you get to see a lot of the outside interests. And I'm hoping whoever's in charge of the PC that said you had a voice for radio, Justin, what you do, you have a melodious voice, but I think they went nice and didn't point out that I have a face for radio. So we'll see how this all see how this game goes.
Greg Shaw just showed us what he's doing. He placed the You Cannot Hide Forever combo effect out of play, the Mob Points combo, to get Rendili, he got Rendili with it first and then placed it, put it in Lost to get something special planned for him, and revealed the starting effect under it, which is an entire legion of your best troops. He's playing Rops 9s.
Oh, all right.
That, at least that's my guess. He could still prove me wrong, but
I don't think there's a reason to play Legion.
Yeah.
So unless you're playing 9s, like
So this is a deck that I'm pretty familiar with. Garrett might be too, because our team worked on it for Worlds, and Werfs and I both played it at Worlds. Wow, he just open-handed a bunch of
Wow,
states.
that's throwing a lot of stuff down quickly there.
Yeah, we're getting going. How did it go? I mean, let's see.
Chris was a play-in for top 8. I mean, Chris did.
Chris lost his plan for top 8 with it. I believe he was 3-1 before that. I was 2-1 before that. Before I conceded to Werfs in the last round, because trying to knock him out of top 8 contention so that I could go 4-4 didn't seem worth it. And then I lost to Johnny Chu's Hidden Base in the last game of the Constellation, which put me to 5-1. So it went pretty well.
It looks like they both got some activation as we see he's throwing down Shmi's hut and going and probably searching for a Shmi or 3PO.
Yep.
I'd say it's much more likely it's going to be 3PO than Shmi. But
most likely it would be.
You never know.
And he's not playing a Shmi, so that you can use this pull every turn.
Yep. So he grabbed Polismasa.
Oh, and realized that because of the low parsec numbers, it's on the wrong side.
So, I also want to jump in and let you guys know that Greg Shaw is the only undefeated player left.
There we go. If you guys didn't hear that, Greg Shaw is the only 4-0.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
which means he beat Drew before when they played
correct.
2-1 earlier.
And it does mean that we will probably have chaos towards round 10 tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a fun day.
That's exciting.
Chaos is always fun. So it looks like he's using Best Starfighter pilot to get the Falcon.
He was not searching for Shmi. He was just searching with Starpilot to get Polismasa.
Who is on? Is that a whiteboarder? Solo? Or is it that a Chewy?
Solo it could be either one, actually. It could be either one.
Yeah, I see Chewy, because Solo would have another icon up by the name.
Oh, yeah.
That's an aggressive play.
So one thing when you play against Nines, which I assume this is something that Drew knows, being as aggressive as possible is good, because Nines usually can't do a whole lot until they are set up, until they're able to activate down to destinies that they have set up and everything. So if you can get a Drain of 2 going early, that's good. One of the big struggles with mains is that they often have a hard time spreading and doing a lot of damage really quickly. And Nines is really set up well to fight mains. So I think this play is really good, this aggressive play, because Nines also is really limited in the space that it plays. Like Zuckuss is pretty common, but Zuckuss doesn't do anything against Chewy. Marin ship is common, so.
Yeah, but that would be also, make the. Looks like Justin missed a pull on something, or not Justin. Looks like Greg missed a pull on something, as he's letting Drew giving up a verify. I agree with you. Yeah, you've got to be super aggressive and just try and push through, because once Nines get set up, it's real tough to to fight through that.
Greg's not even gonna any pretense of trying. He's just gonna pull battle plan and draw a bunch of cards.
Yep.
I admit I have not actually tried to play this deck much after the new set. The shield just seemed really punishing, so I was just like trying other stuff. But I mean, as anyone who plays a lot on GIMP knows, Tom is always on there and has a couple of different versions of this, lots of different things to try. So,
well, I think that Chewy is the Hoth 2-player Chewy virtual who's only available in Whiteboarder.
Yeah.
So, like, this one is the one time that the Whiteboarder doesn't even bother me at all.
Yeah, a blackboarded Chewy would mean that you took a Sharpie to your Chewy, which,
honestly would be kind of cool. Like, if you want to throw some, like, painter's tape down there. And
what card is that Shaw just lost? He lost again.
I saw Zuckuss and Mist Hunter.
Zuckuss and Mist Hunter, okay. I just couldn't tell the picture upside down with only, like, a part.
Yeah, it's Zuckuss is the top.
Yeah.
Jane App.
Fastest supporters.
I feel like this would be the kind of thing that Ryan should do just to really go all out. Like,
No,
have
see,
the entire deck
you
white
only mess.
border except that Chewy.
You only mess with borders going the correct way to white. You don't Sharpie to the border is what we did as kids.
Yeah, that's the Sharpies to the border in stripes is the way to do it. I definitely had a few of those at some point.
Was that solo? I think that was solo.
I think that was solo. That looked like a bunch of shiny card going down there. So you've got solo. Now that Falcon's kind of scary.
Yeah. So one of the tricks that Rops and Ions will pull out to beat space is control tunnel vision. Or control set for stun.
Set for stun.
So what I'm thinking here is like it could be like a Mara and some Imperial pilot, and then you set for stun solo and just battle into Chewy. Draw 2 destinies and clear the Falcon, and then you're good to go.
Why am I not surprised that Chris Kelly has a deck full of Japanese and foil cards, to go with his 18 foil Luke Jedi Knights. That's everything. So
yeah. Now, I the one good thing too could be playing all silver slips. So you just play all PC AI white border foils that end up being silver when they're shiny.
I mean, the PC foils are beautiful. Yes. I've said it before, and I will continue to say it basically until the end of time. The PC does so much work with the graphics team, and the graphics team does such an amazing job.
I've got some right here that I can show. I've got Farful here, one of the league foils from last year. That was a good one.
Those are pretty. They do such. Chris, I only own 5 Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight foils. That's a bit of a humble brag there with the only. See, if you main deck enough Decipher foils, it doesn't matter. So that's what I always do. Like, if I can make it foily, I will. And they go all the way around, so it's fine.
Yeah. I just use the key cards from Deciphers in my deck to be foil, so that way it's easier to track. But,
All right, so after that Force Switch, we got a Emperor Foreseer coming down, and a second Zuckuss and Misthunter going down to Rendili. So now we're satisfying battle plan, and he's using Emperor to check out some cards, move some stuff around. Yep. He's gonna put another Emperor in lost, a card in hand and a card in use. Emperor Foreseer and Janus. Yeah, Emperor Foreseer was a little piece that I picked up from watching Tom play, but it is so good in this deck.
Yeah.
I mentioned it last game with Maz, but you can do the same trick with Emperor Foreseer. If there's only 2 cards left in reserve, you can just use Emperor and see what they are and see what the order of them is. So you can figure out if you want to use Janus or how you want to do your deck manipulation that this deck always does. Yeah, lots of little things that add up to being quite powerful.
Yeah, no, the Nines deck is very good. There's a lot of power there, and Greg is a very, very good player. So we'll see where it goes. And Drew is just steady pushing the damage. Like, that's all he can.
Paid for the drain of 2.
All he can do. I'm curious if he's sitting on enough to try and throw down on ground.
He's going to have to try.
Like, at some point, he's got to come down to the ground and...
Oh, we're going to verify. While they're looking at that, if you want to find out about the rule that I just mentioned with the Emperor and Maz and other things, how about the specific rules for a card that isn't often played? All the rules, including the most current version of the advanced rulebook, can be found on our website, which again, go to StarWarsCCG.org, hover over rules, and click Star Wars CCG to access both the beginner and the advanced rulebooks. So
definitely. And another spot you can access some interesting interactions and stuff, Scomplink access, which I've been using for the most of the day to look up cards as I see them in play and can't remember the exact wording on it. Also gives you interactions and rulings and how cards get pulled. And it's, again, one of those things the PC put together that just so many great ways to interact with the community.
all right, we got a Luke with lightsaber, EPP Luke getting barriered. That is going to be canceled by Bit Shuffle combo, which Greg will grab with the something special plan for them.
Yep. And that looks like it was a Japanese barrier, so I'm sure Chris Kelly grinned a little bit.
I wonder. So one of the tricky things here is Lightside has to really have an idea of what they want to grab. Grabbing barrier is not unreasonable. Like, the deck is well known for abusing Force Lightning, but the change to Insignificant Rebellion V makes it harder to abuse that. So
yeah, because Insignificant Rebellion says it goes out of play.
Yep, and then Luke's just going to battle.
Correct?
Yes, Insignificant Rebellion V now makes lost interrupts go out of play when they resolve.
Yep. So Luke's battling. Luke's swinging at the Emperor, and looks like he hit him.
That was a 6 and a what? I saw the Jedi's.
6 and a 4.
Yeah, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, no, he definitely got him.
Oh no, I forgot about that. Daniel, who was just playing here. Although, wait, it couldn't have been Daniel, because he just played live.
For what?
I'll say, Matt Wadden just had Grimtosh played against him. Like, but that couldn't have been Dan, because Daniel was just here playing light. Oh no, because that was game 4 and this is game 5. So
yeah, I was to say it could be. So
it is Daniel. Oh no, we saw that.
Daniel's just going nuts with that Grimtosh. That's a
and it was on stream.
That Destiny, I think, is just going to clear both sides. It's going to clear both sides.
Yeah, you're probably not getting any overflow either way, because it's 6 to 5 and
Luke Cutter's
Janice forfeits for 5 and Luke forfeits for 7. Like,
ooh, and he swaps Force Lightning with the barrier. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, grabbing barrier might have been a really good idea.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm going to say this and then be wrong. Drew and Sharp are teammates, right?
I believe they are both on old ally or new allies. So
yeah. So I kind of feel like, I wonder if that's something that, like, maybe Drew just wasn't in the playtesting on that to know that was what you should do, or I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting, because I have played against Tom with his new build of the 9s, and yeah, it was like 4 barriers or something like that. I was just like, jeez, like.
And it might be that Drew thinks he's got enough cancelers for it. He's okay with it, or he thinks he's not going to be starting. He might not think he's initiating enough battles to make it worthwhile. I'm not sure. Like,
I mean, I gotta feel like if Saga is not starting enough battles, that's a real problem for them. It's gonna be really hard to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to start battles to win, but I don't know. That might be the question. And
there's
a third Emperor.
Third Emperor Force here. He's good, but I did not go that far. That's interesting.
So Greg loses another ship.
Oh, did Drew AJR the Luke? Because there's the AJR.
I believe he did. Yes.
Okay. That would have been another chance. This is just exact same board state. And he has the barrier back again, so we're exactly the same position we were in last turn.
Yeah.
Although I suspect that Anakin's lightsaber will be deployable next turn. So.
Yeah, you would think that Drew's going to have something better than just an EPP Luke. And looks like Greg did drop the drop shield just to protect his hand in case of Rogue
Yeah.
Grimtash. You might have heard Matt Wadden.
Drew did play Thrown Back already. That shield's already on the table. So
yeah,
he may just want the freedom to be able to drop if he's looking for some particular card, so that he can then protect it.
Yeah, could be.
So I believe he's draining for 2.
He's drain for 2.
Yep. Drain for 2 again.
Yeah, and Greg's figuring out what he loses. And I think he peeled both off the top. The last Relapse site.
Oh, that's
and a 7.
I was like, what is that card? Okay.
So Greg's been playing Relapse for a while, and those sites, he added a river. So when they're all put together, there's a whole little river thing.
It's like
river art going on.
It's like Carcassonne, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the flooded spaceport. Is where Greg has everything going on. So looks like we're playing somebody here. Oh, taking back 1. I'm betting
probably Luke.
Another EPP Luke.
Oh no, Ray.
Ray.
Ray instead of Luke. Ray first.
Okay, so Ray eats the barrier, which he might actually be okay with. I'm wondering if this was a.
See, I suspect that Greg
the barrier.
I suspect Greg has like 3 barriers.
Very possibly.
So he's just going to barrier Luke on top of Ray.
And that might happen, and then there's not much, I think you're right, Drew maybe should have grabbed barrier, and even if he didn't the first time, I think now would have been a good time.
This is the second time and still didn't grab it. We'll see if I'm right, and if Greg has another barrier and Drew doesn't have a canceller, I kind of feel like he might maybe just have to grab it.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's another Luke. There's the 5. Is Greg gonna? Greg is not throwing down barrier.
Looks like no.
Although I don't love if he starts a battle here and ends up with Ray sitting by herself.
Yeah, he's been able to Janus a couple of times here, so he may well have something set up now.
Yeah.
With the black sleeves that we complained about before, I can't tell how many cards he's got. But
he might have 10 cards there. He might have 47. We just don't know.
Yeah.
So, and there's Anakin Saber on, I'm assuming, Ray. I'd see no reason not to.
It doesn't make sense to put it on Luke.
Yeah. You put it on Luke and you lose Luke, you lose the saber, which doesn't make sense. So
yeah. Yeah, if Greg just would have used the PC donation sleeves, then this would be fine.
Apparently Greg is not cool.
I was trying to see if I had one of them out here. I don't have one of the PC donation sleeves for the decks, but I do have the defensive shield ones.
Yeah, like I said, the art the PC has done is a huge allure. There's a 4 and a 4 to hit Palpatine.
Yeah. And then almost certainly Janus will die here.
Yeah, I would be
looking through a pretty significant hand.
Oh yeah, Carl's the Beefred sleeves.
Oh yeah,
there was
the Beefred sleeves too. Although both of these guys are they're both on New Allies too. So yeah,
yeah. I really honestly kind of want to know what squadron Beefred is in for that new thing, because I feel like if he doesn't get those chromed out white border cards, he might snap his entire team.
He's just going to trade.
That's a bonus. So. Yeah, probably. He is. There's a 5 for Destiny. Wipe them out, all of them with the. Was that? Did he just Force Lightning?
I think he's swapping with Force Lightning.
No, I think he played Force Lightning Lost to kill Luke.
Oh, so that the Janus doesn't die. Sure.
Yeah, so Janus doesn't die, but that leaves Janus in front of.
Wait, why did he? Oh, he retrieved one because the city. Wait, no,
yeah. Did he pop Walkling? I mean, Walkling's still there. Because he retrieved.
He AJR'd Luke.
Yeah.
So he retrieved the first
Oh,
AGR.
Sidious died. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Oh,
And opponent Sidious was lost. So he retrieved this. Then he retrieved the second AGR, and then
Yeah.
and then he used Fall of a Legend because Sidious just left the table to get a card. So this is actually, I think, going really well for Drew so far. I feel like.
I think Drew is doing well.
It's like 3 Emperors are dead. Have no lost pile. This is like, seems pretty good. Probably just got another AGR back in the hand. I wonder if Greg like knows that there's a Grim Tower, so he can't use his other grabber on AJR. I kind of feel like he would have grabbed AJR otherwise, right? Like,
You would think, because that's going to get real obnoxious.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Well,
and maybe that's what it is he's worried about, because he certainly got force. Like, there might be something he's more worried about getting grabbed.
Drew pulled Ultimatum. That's bizarre.
I don't feel like Ultimatum ever comes into play.
Yeah, I gotta admit I don't understand Ultimatum there. That doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah, I'm.
Sidious died. That's what Skywalkers do. Kill Sidious. Well, I mean, to varying degrees of success, Chris. Right? Like, Anakin certainly didn't do it very well.
Anakin wasn't trying to. Yeah, misclick on the Ultimatum.
Yeah. All right.
It might have been, and then Greg just didn't allow a revert, and that's...
Oh boy. Yep, that's exactly
Ouch.
That's exactly what we were thinking. What I was thinking with the barrier, and what Tom has done with the barrier.
He threw down aim high.
We got EPP, Lord Maul, and Prince Aziz are coming down against Ray. So Ray's not going to get a Destiny here, unless there's like a sorry about the mess, which there could be.
I was going to say, maybe sorry about the mess.
Yeah, and a first strike.
So, yeah.
He's going to get a retrieval with first strike. He's going
to pay one to get back the Emperor.
We are power 14-4 right now.
14-4. His Destiny is going to be +1.
Yeah, he's losing sights. Drew's losing sights from him.
Yeah, which makes sense. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't need the battleground sights.
He doesn't need the battlegrounds. Just throw those away and.
Oh, that looks like enough. 12.
I think he got her. I mean, Rey is a Palpatine, but she didn't dodge that one. All right, so now Drew is figuring out his option.
Yeah. Now Drew has enough to pay for Hoojix, so this isn't gonna be a big blowout here.
Yeah,
but
like he's got enough to pay for Hoojix. I think he's got 2 force there, so he could even do the hit Shizor. Sorry about the mess if he's got it.
Yeah.
And draw Battle Destiny, and maybe
is he just not? Oh, he is swinging. Well, that's not a good start.
Depending on who he's swinging at.
Oh, he's gonna
Jedi Leving to cancel it. Okay.
That's a 4.
4 and a 5. Okay, so he swung at Maul.
Okay.
That tells me he did not have.
Doesn't have a sorry about the mess.
Sorry.
That's an interesting choice, though, because Maul is the character that Nides is going to have a lot of. So that's another one that they could have grabbed Fall of the Legend, because Fall of the Legend cancels Maul strikes, or can.
Okay.
Oh, so he grabs the Hoojix. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Which, I think is probably a good.
Yeah, and no AGR.
Good choice.
I'd have been tempted to AGR the Rey, actually. Just because Rey is such a good card, so getting to play her again here.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have been tempted, but I'm not sure it's...
It may not be correct.
He might not have one right now, either. Like, he's already played 2.
Well, he got to follow the legend for a card, so... There's a good possibility that it was AJR.
There's a lot...
It might not.
There might be a lot more impactful cards than that, and he's paying the drain for 2, and
that's what he's got to do. Just keep the damage.
The 2 damage adds up. Like, and there's a 3 PO.
I guess the other thing is, well, no, because Fall shuffles them, so you can't track it that way.
Yeah.
They both have really a lot of cards. So. No,
I mean,
it says opponent Sidious, so it doesn't count.
And even then, well, all Sidiouses are Palpatine. Not all Palpatines are Sidiouses.
Yes.
It's,
Well, in our game, it's the other way.
Rey is a Palpatine.
Well, actually, it's not true in our game. Senator Palpatine is not a Sidious, right? Or is he? Is he a persona of Sidious? He's a light side persona of Sidious?
I believe he's a light side persona of Sidious because he is a light side. I think when they corrected it, he's a light side persona of Emperor Palpatine, but they're different card titles, so they could both be on table at the same time.
I actually, yeah, that could be. Okay, so it makes sense why he wouldn't AGR because he's just going to use Walkling to pull Onita and Onita to pull, or Onita to get
her back. Yep.
Yeah. And then
put her at the battleground. Yep. Because Shizor is on play now, so you're probably not going to face another. And then I'd assume he'll lose a card to throw Anakin's saber on her.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Trying to figure out why Bill's in our chat. Isn't he streaming
the game might be over.
A game somewhere? His game's already over?
Wadden did get Grimtash. The game might be over.
Yeah. Wadden and the table is over. Yeah.
The table is safe. But Matt said that he just couldn't draw the right key cards in the matchup, and it just didn't work out. So, but the table is safe. I went over there and checked.
It would wreck Joe's streaming setup, so that would be a shame.
Yeah. That might be the only reason. Like, honestly, Matt might have just, I don't want to ruin Joe's phone.
I guess I won't flip the table this time.
Yeah, that's...
So
he's got Rey down alone, like...
Yeah, Drew's... I kind of wonder if Drew's hand is just bad.
Yeah, I'm wondering...
Like, if you had...
He had a Luke, though, or no, he didn't. Yeah, he's got a Luke still in hand.
Yeah, it's like if you had an Anakin or like any ability 6 character, wouldn't you just attack and retrieve too?
He might not have the ability 6 character. He might not have the Anakin. Yeah. He might have been sitting on just Rey and Luke.
But if you had just Rey and Luke, wouldn't you play Rey and Luke to battle into this group, hit both of them, kill both of them, lose Luke, AJR Luke, and you'd still have Rey in this exact same situation?
Maybe. Yeah, Unita got Rey back.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a Admiral Holdo?
If he's got... The thing is, I believe it might have been. The thing is, if he's got a barrier, then you're putting those two down into...
Right. So he's trying to avoid getting...
Janice and Shizor.
Sure.
And you have to worry about the, are you going to get beat coming back?
Yeah, like Choke Vader to just destroy you. Yeah. Yeah. There's
Choke
a lot of
Vader ruins your entire night. Like, I don't love, and that's part of the trouble with mains against nines is I don't love leaving the guy alone. But unless you put 3 or 4 guys together, like, they're not any safer.
There is.
So there's the
old school EPP Darth Maul.
Yes, old school enhancer, just regular Theed Palace Maul, but Maul with double bladed saber.
Interesting. I actually feel like this might be because Greg doesn't have another EPP to attack Rey with, because this isn't a super great use of Maul.
Yeah, I think it's just
we're suspending entire Legion. I think they changed Free Ride was one of the cards that got changed in the recent set, so I do not remember anymore what the
weird. Let's look it up at the same time, I think.
For remainder of turn, suspend the following cards on table, if any: a million voices crying out and an entire Legion.
Okay.
So he's suspending an entire Legion so that Shaw presumably only draws a 7 instead of a 9.
Okay. And it looks like there's a Leia's transport, so Holdo would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
There.
He battled and retrieved a sneak attack, and that's where the Leia's transport got lost. Now, Rey is hit by Maul. Does Ray swing?
And I think Ray's got to swing back.
He's going to retrieve the Leia's transport. Interesting. The walkling's been used now. That's curious. I wonder why Leia's transport is so important here. Is it maybe just to set up more damage?
Yeah, I think he just to set up more damage. Like if you can get Leia's transport and get Leia in play and stick another drain.
So we're making Ray immune to attrition and power and added SC to power. Okay.
Okay.
So now it makes a lot more sense to leave Ray alone, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If he had that in hand, that's and Greg saying retrieving while he can. That makes sense. Although he doesn't have coward end table, so. And I think he's out of shield pulls.
Looks like 4. Yeah, grabber, secret plans.
And now he's got an Anakin, as he just drew one and grabbed one.
So Vader got hit, or Maul got hit. I don't know why that. Oh, we're swapping. So he swapped Dooku for Emperor after he drew Night Sister as a Destiny. Actually, like not great. 9 power against 4, 5.
Yeah, I think Maul actually he.
Oh, 9. No, they're both. They actually both. Wait, why did he get 2? Oh, because he gets Destiny to power.
Oh, the Destiny to power.
Actually, getting overflow for 4.
Yeah, ouch.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, I don't think that was his intent going into that battle.
No, that was a good. That was a very effective handle.
Yeah, that was well done by Drew.
I can handle myself as such a good card.
Yeah. That's honestly, that might have been a matter of Greg. Like Greg needed somebody else to go with that Maul. Like,
yeah,
Maul alone there hurts. So now does he have an AJR?
An AJR now for the Ray, that would be pretty.
That'd be pretty hot, honestly. Like if he could do that.
This P-59 loses Maul.
Yep. Like he lost everything to put Maul on top. Now he's drawing a few.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Maul being on top matters right now, though, as he's gonna.
Yeah, Drew has made it clear he's gonna pay to drain. So.
Yeah.
I think Drew has so many cards left.
I mean, Drew might only have like 4 or 5 cards in lost pile here.
I mean, he has like so few cards in lost pile, and he's only got like 10 on table. Like,
yeah, Saga just doesn't put out that many cards. Like
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 14. He has 14 of his 60 on table.
And he's got an we know he's got an Anakin because he grabbed it on the swing at Maul.
Was it a Padawan or a Jedi?
I'll be honest, he did it so quick, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was a Jedi, maybe.
Padawan? Okay. Dan says
Padawan he grabbed. Okay. He just happened to also have the Jedi in hand, and I'm assuming he'll go get the saber.
Yeah. I feel like Drew must have like 30 cards left, I think. Like,
yeah, like I don't love Drew leaving up in the first strike battles, like deploying a guy Greg's gonna come at you with someone.
I didn't even know you could play Rebel Leadership whiteboarded.
It's probably he probably got that from Surson or JNAP. So I don't even think Drew is on Team Moneyball, but apparently he's going all in.
So Drew has Lando and Rebel Leadership stacked on I don't like sand, I think is the light.
Yeah, it's I don't like sand.
A per in the Anakin deck. Although actually also not, because you'd want to be able to redraw the Anakins and draw 2 Destinies with Anakin. So Anakin really doesn't like sand, as it turns out.
And using
losing 2 to drain.
Just losing a couple to the drains, all right.
Yeah. Pod racing and sorry about the mess.
Moneyball traded a player to be. I feel like Drew is worth more than that. Like the number, just based on the number of times he beat me in the OCS, I feel like Drew is worth more than a player to be named later. Those are usually not deals for superstars.
That just means that new allies got had on the valuation, or maybe the player to be named later is like JNAP or Connor or something like that.
It could also be that new allies figures there's so few players that aren't on new allies.
Yeah,
that a player to be named later. There's only like 7 of us now, so like, what is your option?
So we got seventh sister to the spaceport.
Player to be named later is Drew coming back
again. I feel like I read an article recently that it happened in baseball like twice. Somebody got traded for themselves.
Yeah, that happened at least once. I don't remember when. I know it happens occasionally, or it used to happen occasionally in the NBA where, because there were rules about like when you drafted a guy, you couldn't trade him right away. So there was a few times where like the trade went down as it's a player to be named later, and everyone knew who it was. I know as a Timberwolves fan, that happened in the Kevin Love trade. Like we all knew it was for Anthony Bennett or Andrew Wiggins, but they couldn't say it. So Drew just draining and
then verifying
searching for something.
Probably looking for Shmi again.
Yeah,
he should have put her in there if he wants to find her. But there was a relatively unprotected AGR in there, so, and a lot of red cards. So
yeah, I think it was almost all red cards.
Yeah.
So there's General Leia
against Seventh Sister. There's got to be a barrier. Yeah, barrier for that. That is the last force that was in Greg's force pile though. So no more barriers. And then if Drew has draw their fire, this could be quite bad. Although Anakin's on table already, so that's Oh well, he's got.
Here's Padme probably. Oh, nope, another Ray. Ooh, yeah, draw their fire could get real spicy here.
I love draw their fire in Saga.
Run, Anakin, run. I mean, because Leia got barriered, but he still got Luke and Ray, which is not a.
Well, and Leia got barriered, but Leia gets to see this battle happen before the retrieval happens. So Drew will still get to retrieve 2 in this battle by initiating it.
And so he's suspending an entire legion again.
Battle.
Starting the battle.
Although I guess he's not going to retrieve 2 because he only saved 1 force.
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably more. He wants to make Greg lose 1.
Yeah. Make him lose 1 to his own first strike is pretty good.
Yeah, that needs to. All right, so he went Dark Time to prevent Battle Destinies from being canceled or.
Yeah, canceled or modified. Oh, then Greg's going to concede here.
Yeah, I think Yeah, Greg looks like he only had maybe 10 cards left.
Yeah.
So yeah, the madness will begin as now we have a bunch of 4-1s and.
Yep.
Everybody's still in play.
And I mean, going down early. I mean, let's actually we can get Drew on. We can ask him about that. But yeah, that game. I mean, it sure seemed like Drew was in kind of control the whole time and knew what he was doing, going after everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Even without, he ended up not grabbing anything. Even without grabbing barrier.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we can, if Drew wants to chat for a minute, if we can get him on here. Robbie signal activated.
Run Anakin, run only available on white border.
This is.
I mean, I play a lot of white bordered cards actually. Because like, if the backing card was white border, I want the V slip to be white border because it looks better.
You people in your white borders.
I mean,
it's
also
not shiny. I'm not happy.
Also, remember I didn't own a Star Wars card until like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So like, I get what I can get, you know.
Oh no, definitely. I get that. I'm more teasing than anything else. Like the white border, is someone says, "What's the deal with the Whiteboarder Rebel leadership?" That's kind of what we're discussing, and we think it's because Drew is just a monster.
We got to get Drew on the stream, if only to ask about the whiteboard.
I think we do. Like, I think we need Robbie to get over there with the headphones, and looks like he's got them.
Camera right there.
Did you sit down?
Yeah, you can sit down. No, yeah, the camera right in front of you, over underneath the mic.
Oh. Hello.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So we're going to ask you about strategy and all of that. But first, we got to find out what is with the whiteboarded rebel leadership. Where did that come from?
It definitely, I think, was like one of those eraser tricks. I think Surson posted it before, right? So you can like basically fade out your leaderships. Mike Kessling really, really likes whiteboarder cards. So I think he's willing to deface, however much a leadership it costs if it means he can have whiteboarder leaderships and everything.
I mean, I think at this point, all of us are more willing to deface cards because at this point, like, if you were selling, you'd already sell.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to sell,
exactly. You got the cards.
If it
and
makes you happy, it makes you happy.
Nothing makes Mike Kessling happier than a whiteboarder card.
So now that we've gotten the whiteboarder madness out of the way, what was your thought process when you sat down against a teammate?
Yeah.
Kind of knowing how
yeah.
this had to happen.
Well, one thing is that honestly, I don't know that Ropstein's deck that well. So we've worked together on a lot of different decks, but Greg kind of has gone on his own thing. He's watched Tom play a bunch of games. He really wants to make that Nines deck work. So I actually wasn't even 100% sure of the exact 60 in it, or like he showed me the screenshot this morning, but I didn't really think too much about it. So yeah, my strategy going in is I know that so the space download that you get with the best star pilot in the galaxy is very strong against him because Chewie makes you immune to Zuckuss and Misshunter, so you can still draw through that. So that's good early pressure to go to their Eridu and start draining for 2. And then at that point, what I really want to do is lean into the hit and run aspect of the deck. So the deck that I'm playing, it's got 4 Anakins, 3 Reys, 2 Lukes, and 4 Jedi's Resiliences. And obviously that Anakin's lightsaber just keeps recurring, and now can no longer be stolen with the recent tweak on the epic event. And that goes on either Rey or Anakin. So basically, you just keep running into their sights. Like, all I want to do is just attack into his sights. I don't want to leave guys in play, because then he can get out with Choke Vader, he can get out with Maul, he's got First Strike, he's got Blaster Control. Like, what he wants to do is for me to leave someone out and get into a battle. But if I just keep battling him every turn and keep up that drain of 2 at Eridu, I'm putting pretty decent pressure on him, and that's going to force him to have to spread out. When he starts spreading out, then I can hit and run him more with the lightsabers and resiliences.
So, definitely, that was. Thank you for that. Kind of deep thought process. I know, as for people watching, it's definitely hearing the thought processes from guys who are playing well and doing well with the deck is super valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, happy to. Yeah.
Did you have a plan for what you wanted to try to grab in that game? Because we noticed you didn't use your grab
Gick.
at all.
I want to grab Gick.
Okay.
Yeah, so he lost to Gick early on and had been in his lost pile, and I was kind of waiting to grab that, so he can't keep swapping it. And then that would really put the pressure on him. He really can't spread out, because if he does, then I can find, like Luke and Anakin together, hit someone, overflow him. Even if it's not like a game-winning beatdown, like every single little bit of force that he loses is really bad, because I have more pressure with the Eridu drain. But yeah, so I was just sitting on that for Gick.
So the newest member of D&D, who already is talking about making terrible cards and we all hate him, asks how you feel now that you're done playing Greg for the weekend, unless you guys finish in the top 2. Like,
yeah, no, it's unfortunate to kind of have to team kill. So right now, both Greg and I are 4-1. Our only losses are to each other. Which, we're both really happy about, obviously. So going in tomorrow, at the very least, we're both going to be hopefully in contention. Hopefully we win our next rounds, but even if we don't, X and 2 has a decent shot if we can win out then. So it's nice to at least know that tomorrow we'll both be playing in for it. But yes, it's nice to be done playing Greg. Ideally, I can avoid, I don't know if Mike won or not, anyone else on the team who's also X and 1.
Definitely. And did you enjoy having to play a card to mean Greg was just drawing 7s instead of 9s? Is that
I mean, obviously that's not the intention of the card in that deck. Like, obviously that card's supposed to be there so that you can, kill an undercover spy basically, or maybe stop a reacting vehicle in normal rel ops. But it was nice. It was nice to keep putting that back. I mean, the main thing there is that because so many of my characters are all forfeit 7, means I won't lose 2 guys in battle, right? So that was really just the main intent behind doing that. If I have 2 characters in battle, I don't want to draw 9. They're both out. But, Greg had really bad luck that game. He just couldn't get anything together. He kept drawing 1s and 2s. Part of that's obviously because I put the pressure on him. I battled into James and the Emperor twice, killed them both each time, so he had to keep resetting that back up. But he also just kind of had some bad luck, too.
definitely?
Yeah, we were thinking that when you did the turn 1 play. I know you said that the Chewie in particular is really good against Zuckuss, but
Yeah.
did you have an aggressive mindset? Kind of the whole.
Yeah, I did.
approach
No,
to offense in general?
that's how I wanted to go into that mindset. I mean, that matchup because that Anakin deck. I mean, I guess it'll be posted, and I was fortunate enough to go 3-0 with it today. But like, it's a little bit of a paper tiger. It needs to keep battling every turn, have pressure. It's not gonna do well if I kind of sit back. It's not necessarily like a traditional mage. You can drop a fully immune guy out of sight and start draining for 2. It's very much like a hit and run constantly deck. And obviously, one thing about that ROPS matchup is they give you a ton of icons, right? I was activating 10 on my first turn, and so I need to take advantage of that. Like, I can't let him start getting set up, because if he starts getting set up, then he's going to get all of his 9s, he's going to find his Vaders, he's going to find his Mauls. He needs to feel pressure from turn 1, and so I was, fortunate that I didn't activate the Chewie and the Falcon on turn 1 and could go straight to space with them.
Definitely. Well, I think we will let you head to your next game.
Thank you.
Getting started
Yeah.
in a little bit.
I hope the cover. I hope
Thank you.
everyone's been having a great time this weekend watching the coverage and is enjoying some Star Wars cards.
I
So.
hope everyone is enjoying it. I know I'm definitely enjoying offering it and hanging out with you guys. I'm actually going to be done for the day here.
Cool.
So I've got a kid to take to a hockey game and
Have fun with that. So.
root on. So that'll
Justin,
be
you
a
sticking
little
around
over.
for the next final match of the day?
I'm not going to be able to. I think
No,
Justin
Garrett.
is.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dan and I will be on the last game. So.
Fantastic.
Dan's going to come back in and.
Thanks for doing it, guys.
And I will
It's really great for the community to have you guys doing this. So.
It's definitely a fun way to stay connected, even if we can't all, can't be out there to hang out with you guys.
Awesome.
So.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank
all
you.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right.
I don't think we have an ETA yet on the last round. It looks like from this camera, there's one game still playing that looks like.
Looks like there might be a couple still going, but.
Is that Turner and Wirfs? I think it is. No, it's not. It's Wirfs and.
Not sure. So it looks like.
Oh, Wirfs and Connor. Okay.
All right. Well, I will step back and let you guys enjoy the last game. Let you and Dan have some fun. Thank you all for joining us. I had a blast being here today, and I will hopefully see some of you tomorrow. I'm not positive I'm going to be able to run and watch tomorrow, but I will be as much as I can.
Well, we always like having you, so. Dan, you are silent, I think. Your mic is muted, it looks like.
You are correct, sir.
There you go.
So, yeah, thank you, Garrett, for doing that. I know he left already, but just I want a big thank you to him. We'll be back in a little bit, right after this little break, and then we'll get on to our last game of the day. Wrapping up game number 6. I mean, it feels like it's weird to say like game number 6 is the last game of the day.
I have always had to play 8 every time, so.
Same.
Had to. I don't know. I guess I only had to play 7 at Worlds, but.
Yeah. Same here. But, okay, we're gonna take a little break, and then we'll be back right with game 6.